Lauren is crying that Russia shouldn't prosecute people for breaking their laws. That's not what I'm crying about. I'm not crying at all. I'm saying that 9.5 years for leaving a vape pen in your bag is probably a bit of a crazy punishment. All right, so next, let's chat. The reason I want to bring this into it is we're talking about when the law is applied politically. When the media, when they treat people with political gloves, not honest gloves, right? You got this WNBA star, Brittney Griner. I didn't know anything about her. I'd never heard her name before until this morning, and I saw it trending on Twitter. But all I saw was that WNBA star Brittney Griner sentenced to 9 years in Russian jail for drug smuggling. This woman is like a beast, too. Let me see if I can play this. She's huge. I wasn't sure if I don't know. I thought she might have been transgender. I want our viewers to see
the moment when the judge actually read the sentence, the maximum sentence, the one the prosecutors asked for, 9 years in a penal colony.
Final verdict is 9 years of imprisonment of the 9 million rubles penalty in the penal colony. And she will serve her term from the day of the announcement of this verdict. And time when she was...
Oh yeah, someone in the chat just said, not a her. Is Brittney Griner trans? I genuinely don't... Like, Brittney Griner is massive. I think, like, it looks way over 6 feet. Literal behemoth, but I don't know if they're trans or not. I have no idea. I'll have to look into it after.
Behind bars from the 18th of February 2022 will be included in the overall term.
Jill Doherty, former CNN Moscow bureau chief, is back with us. Just watching that is... it's heart-wrenching, and thinking about all of the factors. And since she's going right,
be harsh work.
It's not going to show the video. Okay, there's like a video of her walking. Wait, okay, not trans, lesbian. Okay, well, then why are you saying not a her? What do you mean not trans, lesbian, not a her? What does being lesbian change your gender? Chat, are you okay? See, this is actually the problem. Okay, well, before we get back, this is the crisis with the gender stuff, is they say if you have any traits that are like the other sex, oh, I like cars, oh, I'm gay or something, they're like, actually, no, you're not a woman, you're a man. If you like women, you're a man. That's the problem. Because that's not how it works, obviously. There are women that can enjoy men's things that still remain biologically women. So chill, chat. We're not calling lesbians transgender. This is 50 IQ stuff. Oh, okay. So Brittney Griner, 9 years Russian jail, and they say drug smuggling here, right? From my understanding, what I've read is that it was a vape pen, which, I gotta come out here and hardcore defend vapists. I gotta defend the vapists out here. They said it was a vape pen for weed, medical marijuana. We're going to get into my Twitter in a second here. American women's basketball star Brittney Griner was convicted of deliberately smuggling drugs into Russia and sentenced to 9 years in jail Thursday in a case that has raised concerns she is being used as a political pawn in Russia's war against Ukraine. Judge Anna Sotnikova, in Khimki City Court, delivered the sentence and fined Griner 1 million rubles, or about $16,000. She said the court took into account Griner's partial admission of guilt, remorse for the deed, state of health, and charitable activities. Prosecutors had asked that she be sentenced to 9.5 years in jail. Prior to the verdict, Griner apologized to the court and asked for leniency in an emotional speech. I never meant to hurt anybody. I never meant to put in jeopardy the Russian population. I never meant to break any laws here, Griner said. I made an honest mistake, and I hope that in your ruling that it doesn't end my life here. I know everybody keeps talking about political pawn and politics, but I hope that is far from this courtroom. I want to say again that I had no intent on breaking any Russian laws. I had no intent. I did not conspire or plan to commit this crime. After the sentence, Griner told a CNN producer as she left the court, I love my family. So they have a partner. They have, family back home. They're going to be in jail until they're like 40. This is crazy. It's crazy in my opinion. I don't care. People are saying on my Twitter that Brittney Griner is politically like super progressive, doesn't like America, whatever. Okay. People can learn their lesson. Real life is obviously a political journey and lesson for everyone. You have all these ideals about the world. You think certain things about America. You think it's a horrible, fascist, colonizing country or whatever. And then you go out to the real world, you travel a bit, and you realize, holy, there's a whole lot of countries worse than America. Maybe I need to reconsider my views. And I hope that happens for a lot of people, right? I hope they get that lesson. But I hope they do it in a way that doesn't ruin their life. I don't care if they're a leftist. I don't care what your politics are. I want people to learn about the world and reconsider their worldview and have things happen to them that may be hard experiences where they're left to question their politics without their life being ruined so that they can then change their mind and go forward operating in a different way with different politics. But there are a lot of people that I'm seeing on Twitter going on and saying, oh, Griner deserved this for not liking America. Griner deserved this for, you smuggled drugs into another country. You deserve the 9.5 years. Great. You can sit here and you can say Russia has their laws. They're allowed to have their laws. They're allowed to enforce their laws. And if you enter their country and you violate them, you're going to have to be punished under them. But that does not suddenly make it so that you can't criticize thinking that the punishment doesn't match the crime. And I'm sorry, from everything I've read, maybe I'm wrong, from everything I've read, she brought less than, I have to get the article. It was literally a single weed pen, unless there were a few people on Twitter saying that it was over 100 cartridges. If that's true, then that's obviously different, but I haven't seen any articles pointing to that. Lauren is crying that Russia shouldn't prosecute people for breaking their laws. That's not what I'm crying about. I'm not crying at all. I'm saying that 9.5 years for leaving a vape pen in your bag is probably a bit of a crazy punishment. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's the most right-wing or most left-wing person in the world. If you forget an item in your bag when oh man, my computer's lagging again. What is happening? We're going to have to sort this out. Okay, we're back. Yeah, there are countries like Thailand, people go there and they get executed for drug stuff. You can say Thailand are allowed to enforce their laws. You can say countries are allowed to enforce their laws while still saying, hey, I don't really think the punishment meets the crime here. Is it going to say the exact amount that Griner brought in? 1 minute. Let me see if I can find it in this article. The two-time U.S. Olympic basketball gold medalist pled guilty to drug charges last month and said she accidentally packed the drugs while in a hurry. Griner's lawyers, Maria... Okay. A bunch of people... Sorry, I thought I had the article up on screen. A bunch of people were telling me... Okay, yeah. So less than 1 gram of cannabis oil. I'm sorry, guys. I don't care how much you hate drugs. Less than 1 gram of cannabis oil that you left in your luggage that was for medical use... I don't think that deserves 9 years. I don't think it deserves 9 years. That's wild. That's insane. Yes, that may be the law in Russia, but that doesn't make it any less freaking crazy to destroy someone's life over that. And maybe I'm just ultra sympathetic. People are saying, I had people all over my Twitter that were like, Lauren, how can you accidentally pack that? They're so strict about rules with flying, blah, 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 blah. When you're an athlete or when you travel for work, you are packing so quick for everything you do. It's like, got to get to the next flight, got to do this. And if you're flying around in countries where it's okay, or you have something that is like a medical prescription, you're probably going to pack it, without even thinking about it. I don't know if I'm incriminating myself by saying this, but the amount of things I have accidentally brought on planes that could get me jail time, not good. I have accidentally, okay, I don't know if I should say this. I've accidentally brought mace in my carry-on bag. And of course, it's just security theater when you go through the TSA. So they're just like, da-da-da-da-da, okay, pretend to scan it, go through. And then I'm on the plane like, holy crap, I've got freaking mace in my bag. Am I about to go to jail? This was a complete accident. Carry mace for if a dog attacks me or whatever, at protests where it's legal. forget it in my bag. I'm not thinking about that. I got ADHD. I don't have time to think about that. So maybe I'm like ultra sympathetic because I've literally experienced this multiple times. And not only that, I have a bunch of people that are like, oh, well, you should really know the laws of the country you're entering. Like everyone knows the laws of the country they're entering. Everyone knows not to violate them. Not true. I have violated so many laws in countries I visited that I had no idea I was violating and been unbelievably thankful that I was let go. And I look at this and I see people like, oh, I'm not going to give this person any sympathy, no understanding. Bro, like, I don't know if people have just never left their hometown or never done something stupid in their life accidentally. How can you not have any sympathy for that? When I was in Turkey, we thought we were taking photos and video of the Turkish-Bulgarian border. I just wanted some B-roll. I just wanted some B-roll. And I thought it was perfectly fine. There was no signs, or if there were, I missed them. I didn't realize I had entered a military zone. More so, I did not realize that it was a 5-year jail sentence for entering a military zone without permission. And I look at that moment in my life, and there is not a single instance in the behavior I partook in before that where I would have even had a modicum of thought that like, oh, this could be dangerous. I'm doing something illegal. I thought it was all perfectly fine, other than the fact that I'm doing journalism in Turkey. But, you know, that's a different question. But I had no idea that I was entering a military zone. So I do that. And a military truck comes up, arrests us all at gunpoint. It's a whole freaking thing. You know, I'm on the ground, the whole ordeal, get in the truck, drive us, and we're told we're facing 5 years in jail. I genuinely thought I should be in a Turkish prison cell right now. Thank God they decided to, through the goodness of their hearts, let us go. But they absolutely would have every legal ability to send me to jail. Every right to do so. And would there have been thousands of leftists mocking me and saying I absolutely deserved it and they hope I rot in prison? Absolutely. Absolutely. Do I think those people would have been right to do that? No, I think it would have been morally wrong. And so I'm not going to do it the other way around. I'm not going to sit here and someone put less than a gram of cannabis oil in their luggage for medical purposes and is getting 9.5 years for the rest of their life. I'm not going to sit here and gloat even if I hate their politics. Like, that's horrible. It's someone's life being ruined over something that I don't know, could have not been an accident. I don't think smuggling a vape pen is worth 9.5 years. So I really don't think they would have done it on purpose, knowing that was going to be the consequences, right? And if it's an accident, then everyone running around smugly laughing at this person, I don't know. I just think that's horrible. I just think it's horrible, okay? Let's look at some of my Twitter arguments. You can disagree all you want. Also, some of the takes I'm seeing, listen, I love you conservatives. I love my conservative brethren. I agree with you on so much. I think that obviously America, Canada have a drug use problem, but also the comparison. The idea that bringing a personal vape pen is like drug smuggling or drug meal. Do you know how much drug smuggling happens in the world every day in like mass amounts that have both governments, you know, border agents that have like all these people involved in it that never get prosecuted, and then one person with a freaking vape pen is happening and everyone's cheering? If you want to talk about the drug problem, we shouldn't be soying out over this one WNBA star bringing a personal vape pen. If you actually care about the drug problem, there's 1,000 other things you can focus on and talk about. This is not it. This one thing is not going to stop the drug problem. Someone with medical cannabis. Oh my gosh. Lauren is right. We should build a GoFundMe and bail out Brittney Murphy. Brittney Murphy? It's not even Brittney Murphy. Listen, chat, you're triggering me. Brittney Griner. And no, I don't think we should start a GoFundMe and bail them out. Like, I'm sure they have money. I'm sure there's like political tension going on here. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people and groups, and Brittney has the right politics, so they'll get her out early. But that doesn't change the fact that I think the idea of that sentence is wrong. Just making excuses. What do you mean making excuses? Do you think 9.5 years for a vape pen is acceptable? You know what? You know what's going to happen? You know what needs to happen to people? Everyone has a family member that has probably smoked weed. All of you. Everyone watching this. Whether it be your child, a cousin, maybe a parent. What if this happened to them? You would not be having the same takes. You would be sobbing your eyes out over your poor family member that you think didn't deserve this at all. Yeah, the drugs was a stupid decision, shouldn't have done that. You'd be bawling your eyes out and freaking out. The only reason that you're doing this whole 9 years is acceptable, freaking lefties deserve it, is because they're a political enemy. That's the only reason people are doing that. And I get it. There are okay. Listen, I'm soying out. We're gonna chill right now. Half the chat saying they're stoned right now. Okay. Who was it? Yeah, this person I at least respected. You have all these people out here saying, Brittney deserved it because XYZ, giving a bunch of reasons why they deserved it. I at least respect this Slavo guy in my mentions on Twitter who says, she is an enemy. A bad thing happened to an enemy. This is cause for celebration. It really is that simple. At least this person's being honest. At least they're not pretending a 9.5-year sentence for a vape pen is reasonable. This person's just saying it like it is. Yeah, you know what? I dislike this person politically. Dislike my enemies, want bad things to happen to them. So that's good. Great. Being honest. Everyone else trying to pretend this is a normal sentence? No. It does happen to everyone else. Why I feel bad for her. Well, when it happens to everyone else, it's bad too. It's bad too. That's what I keep seeing. So this guy was like, if this was me, neither you nor she would give a shit. She probably wouldn't defend us. Doesn't mean I'm going to abandon what I believe in. I would defend this person, first of all. It's reasonable for countries. Oh, wait, this person said, don't break laws in other countries. Sure, it's reasonable for countries to have their own laws. It's also reasonable to highlight when said penalties are disproportionate to the crime. You can disagree with them. Thousands of Americans are in prison for weed too, and no one is negotiating prisoner swaps for them. This is bad. Do people not have the capability of realizing two things could be bad at the same time? It's bad when it happens to millions of Americans. It's bad when it happens to a celebrity. Yes, you can be frustrated with the fact that a celebrity gets more attention, but also, of course, a celebrity is going to get more attention. Bam. Oh. Pacritus says, wait, Lauren's not for prosecuting? How does she feel about Florida Attorney General situation? I'll have to look at that. If they had said 6 months or something, I would have been like, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. 9.5 years seems very excessive. Yeah, if you think a single personal weed vape pen is drug smuggling, I'm not sure what to tell you. What else? I thought this one was funny. If potheads are too stupid to understand that marijuana is an illegal drug, they deserve to be locked up. First of all, medical marijuana is legalized all over the place. I guess I live in Canada, so it's just like everyone has it all the time here. Everyone's taking it for medical reasons, and you can get it without THC. That's like CBD oil that doesn't give you any psychoactive effects, and it can be really, really good for you and really helpful. I'm sure a lot of people watching this have had friends or family use CBD oil. I've used CBD oil before for dealing with body pain and everything, and it's really, really helpful. Conservatives not understanding drugs is really frustrating to me because it makes us look stupid. Look at this. Other countries, okay, I love you, Carl. I'm sorry if you're watching. I care about you, but your take on drugs is bad. Other countries shouldn't have to deal with America's drug problem. Carl, what are you talking about? Russia is number 3 for drug use in the world. They've got way more drugs that they're dealing, selling, all of it there than America. If you've ever every freaking drug dealer in Canada, America, they're all Russian. Not every single one of them, but there's a freaking lot of them. The idea that it's America exporting their drug problem to the world and not the world bringing in a whole ton of drugs to America, including Russians bringing drugs to America, is just wild. It's so wild to me to even have that perspective. Anyways. Okay, then the other one. What was it? Yeah. It's not just their politics. She did a lot more than forget something. She was doing something she shouldn't have been doing. Smoking weed, which in certain countries, it's perfectly legal. I'm pretty sure like Dennis Prager smoked weed after it was legalized in DC because he was like, okay, it's perfectly fine to do here now. You can say the bringing it into Russia. The smoking weed isn't what she did wrong. It's the bringing it into Russia when they don't allow you to travel with it. So that's wrong already. And then, which is bad for her. I believe that if someone smokes weed a bunch and they're like a stoner pothead and everything, of course weed is bad for you. Like you're gonna fall behind in life. You're not gonna be able to connect with your family. You're gonna cause all sorts of problems. It's gonna cost you tons of money, absolutely. But like taking a medical cannabis vape is not bad for you. You can be against it. You can say you think it's like a gateway drug. You think, you just don't think it's necessary. There's other things available for it. But to argue that medicinal cannabis, which is allegedly, assuming that the articles I read are true, I don't know anymore with the media, right? But assuming that the articles are true and it was medicinal cannabis, that's not bad for you. In fact, that could be really helpful to some people. I love you conservatives, but those of you that still have this notion that medicinal, especially CBD oil and stuff, is evil. We got to work on that. We got to talk. We got to chat about that. There are some things that we just gotta let go. Don't let go of stuff like heroin, crack, cocaine. That stuff's really bad, right? But medicinal marijuana, I think we can just say, okay, all right, you know what? Sending people to jail, having people lose their fathers and family members for years and years of their life, probably not our number one priority when we've got crime up the wazoo in every major city in America. There are high-functioning stoners, says Martian Moon, i.e. Joe Rogan. Leapshin Talks says, all Leapshin photography aside, the drug war and unironically anti-drug people are beyond dumb. The war on drugs literally created the cartel. It's a failed war and failed moral stance. John says, Lauren, snort an Adderall live and I'll donate $100. Listen, we promote, I don't take Adderall. When I do need my ADHD stuff, it's Vyvanse, okay? And no, we're not gonna misuse drugs on stream. Weed is not a drug. Oh, it's medicinal in America, not in Russia. Yeah, see, that's an argument, Jason. That's an argument. You can say, like, listen, it's not allowed in Russia. You brought it in. I don't think it's like drug smuggling. When I think of a drug smuggler, I think of someone that's bringing a bunch to sell to a bunch of people, right? Someone forgot a weed vape pen in their bag. To me, that's one of those things where it's like 6 months would even seem a bit harsh. But if they did that, I'd probably be like, okay, you did a dumb thing. You violated the law in Russia. Serve your time. I think it's sad that someone's losing their life to learn a lesson like this. Okay. All right. And yes, we do. Okay. When we look at the reactions that the left are having to Alex Jones and all of them saying, I want his life ruined. I want his channel destroyed. He deserves this because he's a political enemy. This is why I react to the Brittney Griner thing the way I do, because I don't want to be like those people. I don't want to be like those people that are like, you know what? You're my political enemy, so whether you deserve it or not, I want your life effing destroyed. Maybe if that political enemy is someone that's like actually, coming out to hurt me, hurt my family, someone that's like forcefully taking away people's incomes, like a Hope Not Hate type group. But if it's just someone that like politically has stupid opinions that I disagree with, what I want for them is to have a moment in their life where they're confronted with their politics and have to reconsider it and hopefully move forward like a better person that's more wise. That's what I want for them. And if more people wanted that for their political opponents, we'd have a much freaking better world. One where people were more willing to change their mind and more willing to be like, you know what, maybe conservatives were right about this subject, because conservatives don't want them to die for having a stupid opinion beforehand. They just want them to correct it. That's what I want for these people. There were a bunch of articles that I was reading as well that were just showing conservatives like gloating over the Brittney Griner thing, and it just made us look not good, in my opinion. I don't know. I know there are a lot of people that'll be like, oh, Lauren, this is why conservatives lose the war. This is why they lose the battle, because they won't act like leftists and just gloat and cheer when their enemies are attacked. We gotta act like leftists and be as big hypocrites. Great. I don't think that's gonna get us anywhere. We're just gonna have a bunch of hypocrites everywhere 24/7 running the media, and it'll be the conservatives too. Awesome. Great. We're a bunch of losers. No, I'd rather have some integrity, even if I mean do you really win if you win by losing your integrity and values? I don't think you do. Maybe we'll lose, but you lose anyways if you throw your integrity out the window, right? Okay, what was this gloating? Okay, we had Dinesh D'Souza here. It seems like the Russians are doing to Griner what the Biden administration is doing to nonviolent Jace. Okay, he's actually is doing to, what is going on here? J6 protesters. Hard for us to feign indignation when the same thing is going on here. Yeah, that's true. See, that's a good point. I actually agree with Dinesh on that. You know, you can get angry about the Brittney Griner stuff. Awesome. Get upset, but also be fair and get upset about the J6 stuff. And you guys know I've been upset about the J6 stuff. You know, I think there's been massive trumped up charges. You know, I think that it's been massively exaggerated by the media who were saying it was this massive planned insurrection when it was not. Yeah, so this is a really fair take from Dinesh. Like, just get upset about both of them. Tommy Lauren, Brittney Griner is a cautionary tale. Hate America. Think it's oppressive. Go to another country. Play stupid games and find out what oppression and no justice looks like. Too bad, too sad. Okay, yeah, like, I agree with this whole, you know, you learned a lesson. I don't think it's too bad, too sad. I wouldn't mock it. I think it's, like, genuinely really sad that someone had to learn a lesson that way. Like, genuinely really sad that someone has to lose their life to learn that lesson. I'd prefer they don't lose their life and learn the lesson and continue on loving America. Is that not the better solution? Is the better solution not to have more conservatives because of their life experiences? Is Brittney Griner trans? I don't think so, but look at how big Brittney Griner is compared to everyone else. Holy, look at this photo. Where is it? There was another one in here that I saw. You're like a whole person taller. Maybe they are trans. I'll look into it. Trans detective here. Okay, what was I doing? Oh, man. Tim Young, Brittney Griner is not a political prisoner. She carried drugs that were illegal with her in Russia and was arrested. There's nothing political about that. I think the idea is that the sentence, the amount of time from the sentence, Tim, was the political thing, not the fact that she was arrested for doing something illegal. What is going... My computer is having some serious issues today, my friends. We'll figure it out. Okay? Oh, shoot. I need to call Brittany Venti. We've got things going on. I got a game to play with Brittany Venti. 1 minute. She's supposed to be joining here. Let me message her. Cool. She said she's setting up. Great. We'll call soon. We're going to get off this topic shortly, my friends. Just delete System 32. Thanks, bud. I'm sure that'll fix it. Nick Adams. While discussing Brittney Griner's prison sentence, I think it's important to note that Russia would have never invaded Ukraine with Trump still in the White House. In a way, Brittney Griner's jail time is a result of her own activism in support of Joe Biden. Okay, that's kind of funny. Like, it's still horrible, but yeah. All right, let's get Venti on stream. We're going to be playing a game called Not for Broadcast. And the point of the game is to curate the media. So we're going to learn, I haven't played it before, so we're going to learn it together. But it's basically, you're curating the media, making sure all the people are seeing the propaganda they want to see, all that good stuff. But you get to be the one controlling it. We get to play mainstream media for a day. Go to OBS and press Alt F4. I feel like Alt F4 opens Explorer. You guys are up to something. I don't know what you're up to, but I'm not having any of it. Oh, man. Split screen, webcam only. What am I doing? Taz Riot says, if you don't like the society you are in, leave it. Governments rule by the consent of the governed. Yeah, no, I agree. Well, actually, I do agree with that, but I also don't. The problem is, like, people have connections to places, right? So let's say you're born. So this is something I witnessed in South Africa. I'd speak to the people there and I'm like, damn, y'all are literally getting murdered. Like, you're getting murdered for your race out here. You're getting boiled in bathtubs and tortured. Why aren't you leaving? Like, doing whatever you can, jumping on a boat and going wherever you can other than here, buying a flight out. And there were people that were in a position where they're like, hey, we can't afford it. We're trying to get out. We're trying to make this happen, but it's just challenging. But then there was a good chunk of people who were like, no way I'm leaving. This is the ground that my father toiled. This is the ground that, my family have lived for generations, and where my family will live for generations or will die here. Like, my blood will cover this soil before I leave this land because it's meaningful to me. And like, on a less drastic note, even just in America or Canada, you have mass migration to the major cities. I think about this a lot with Vancouver, where I grew up outside of Vancouver when I was younger, but it's still the same thing everywhere. There's been so much mass migration that no one can afford houses there anymore, and so much foreign ownership of homes, Chinese just buying them up, that people are being forced out of the city. And everyone will really easily say like, oh yeah, no worries, just move further out, move to a small town. Great. What if your, parent is in a care home in Vancouver and it's really difficult? They don't have a care home with the same facilities in another city. You've got your aunt and uncle there, you got your sister or your brother there, you got your cousins there, and this is your community. These are the things that bring you joy in life, that make your life meaningful. You're really just going to pick up and leave it all because bad government policies around mass immigration forced you to, and everyone's going to be okay with that? Really? I think about this often too with, I think people that live the happiest lives are people that have community. They're the people that are in one area for a long time. They're not like cosmopolitan. I've lived that cosmopolitan life where I'm traveling constantly, and I dabble in it a bit now, but it's always way sweeter when you're in one place for a long time and you really get to know people. People think that you can get to know a city or town by visiting it on vacation. No way. Because what happens when you stay in an area for a long time is you walk by the same area, every day to go get your mail or whatever. You walk by the same area every day to go get your breakfast, whatever it might be. And it takes like 10 or 20 times before the person who also has the same schedule as you or works there will actually open up and talk to you. But eventually, when your routine intersects with all these people in your community, you get to know them, and your day becomes more and more joyful every day, because it's not just, oh, I'm going to get the mail. It's, I'm going to get the mail and I know I'm going to walk by whoever, and they're going to smile at me and we're going to catch up and have a good conversation, and they're going to know what's going on in my life. When I go to pick up this or that from the store, they're probably going to include an extra little something or a treat or goodie in there because they know me and we're friends. And if I need something, I can call them up and they'll open the store after hours. That actually happens in like the small towns I'm in. I had ammunition that I needed. I wanted to go for a shooting day, but all of the stores were closed. And I know the owners, so I could just call them and be like, hey, can you open up and help me out here? And it just makes life like so much more beautiful when you can stay in one place for a long time, especially when you get to watch like friends and families' lives expand and grow around you. Just forcing people to move out of that and not create community is not just a shrug off acceptable political policy. Oh, we moved in a bunch of people who have no connections to this area and way more money than you. Well, too bad, so sad. Let's just destroy your life. We talk all day about how, we need to stop people like Brittney from doing drugs, right? They need to quit it. They need to get off it. Have we ever considered that the reason all these people are I'm sure lots of people have considered this actually, but the reason people are doing all these drugs is because these are like natural things that the body would initially produce. Like, the body produces dopamine. It produces all of these happy experiences, and so many people are so lacking in them because of the way we've structured our society that they literally find living unbearable without doing drugs. And we aren't sitting here and saying, hey, we should probably make the living situation more bearable so people are getting these, natural aspects of their body back, this natural dopamine, fitness, drive to be healthy and engage in the world. Like, let's restructure society to be more community and family oriented so that people don't feel the need to waste away slowly just eating junk food and doing drugs and watching Netflix all day because there's literally nothing going for them in society. They have no upward mobility in their job because the boomers refuse to retire. They have no upward mobility in life because the government and taxation policies and destroying small businesses through vaccine mandates, COVID policy, whatever it might be, only giving these massive contracts to big corporations. Let's forget about all that. Let's get mad at our fellow citizen for having a weed pen. let's get pissed at them and accuse them of being the degenerate that's destroying society, and not like, I don't know. I think that the way we're structuring our society is absolutely around how we can torment humans the most. Like, just don't see your community, don't see your friends. If you lose your city and hometown to mass immigration, well, just deal with it. Suck it up, bud. No, I don't think that's the way to go about it. I don't like the way conservatives have been talking about this all. I think there's a lot more sympathy we can have for people that have been put in a really, really shitty time and shitty situation. Okay. All right. Rant over. Sorry. Q Reverie says, first time watching live, way behind catching up. Griner has a penis. True story. Okay, we got to confirm this. I'll confirm this. Okay, Archeon. Lauren, you can say when it happens to your family, your opinion will change, but at some point, your family member will have to be accountable for not using common sense in dangerous countries. Great! Great! Yes, I don't disagree. But everyone has someone in their life that is, like... You could say that about my situation in Turkey too, right? That doesn't make it any less a reality that I'm really happy and really thankful and blessed that they decided to be lenient on the sentence they could have given me, right? And how I could not feel and want that for someone else who, you know, I don't think did this maliciously. I think that's a very normal human reaction. Maybe y'all in the chat just need to get arrested in another country for something that you didn't think was, you know, was an accident. And then you can see your own reaction to play stupid games, win stupid prizes. You can see your reaction to that. Maybe you just need to experience it.